APNvideo.com is on the air. We're coming to you from Diablo Stadium in Tempe, Arizona for the 2023 MSBL World Series. We're in the 35 and over Cactus Division as the UTENA VETRA, which is Lithuanian for storm, will be taking on the Minnesota Bruins. You see the two managers exchanging lineups before the game. UTENA comes in here looking for their first win. They're 0-3, while the Bruins are 2-0, and they've outscored their opponents 33-17. Getting a look at the right-hander, the starter for Minnesota, Matt Krzyzewski. And he will be facing a lineup. We'll be giving you the lineup as they come up here. And Ziggy Manis will start things off. The shortstop for UTENA, VETRA, which is storm in Lithuanian. All players are from the city of UTENA, which is in Lithuania. In Lithuania, if you're wondering, northeast of Poland, and it's right on the Baltic Sea. So the first pitch of the contest is in there for a called strike, and we are underway from Tempe Diablo Stadium. We're in Tempe, Arizona, and glad to have both teams watching today's contest. Krzyzewski kicks and deals, and he left that one too high. Well, Minnesota, the Bruins coming in, it's kind of an unusual logo they've got, as that one is taken for a strike, and it's 1-2. They have flipped the P for the Philadelphia Phillies. They flipped it upside down and made a B out of it for the Bruins. So that's one way of getting it done. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter. And a good cut at a fastball on the inner half, and he stays alive. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes on, I guess his nickname is Matuffa. I don't know what Matuffa means, but I was told that was his nickname, and he's up there leading things off here for the Lithuanian team. The Storm pitch, and it's grounded down to third, but it's a foul ball, and the count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're just underway from Tempe Diablo Stadium, which, of course, is the winter home of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Another 2-2 from Matt, and this one's bounced down to third, bobbled, and will not have a play at first. So Ziggy Manis reaches on an error. And the runner is going, and the throw down will not be in time. The runner will stay there. It's a stolen base. This is Jurgelinas, the center fielder, batting in the number 2 spot. So you got a runner at second, nobody out. And a good start so far for the VETRA. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on the second place hitter. Krzyzewski delivers, and here's a bunt, third base side. He better unload quickly. The throw to first, and it's not going to be in time. That's a bunt single. And runners are at first and third, so a very good start here for the Lithuanian team. And now the third place hitter just got hit by a pitch. Lucky. So Donatas heads down to first base, and that'll bring up today's cleanup hitter, and that'll be number 99. It's Deividas Trinkunas. Trinkunas with the bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch, high and tight, ball 1. So not a real good start here for Minnesota. And starting pitcher Matt Krzyzewski. And right now it's all about damage control. You don't mind giving up a run here if you can get an out or 2. And they tried to get an out on that play, but the throw was late. Joe Collier is at first base for Minnesota. Trinkunis at the plate with the bases loaded, nobody out. And a good cut and a swing and a foul tip that the catcher was unable to hold on to. Grenfell, Sean Grenfell doing the catching here today. Special thanks also to John Lipinski and Gid on the other side. Here's a ground ball towards a shortstop, and the only play will be to first. Nice job by the first baseman, Joe Collier, coming off the bag. And they get the out. It's 6-3 if you're scoring at home. That's an RBI. Runners are at second and third. And now the fifth place hitter for this Lithuanian team now coming up, and this is Dalius Neliupsis. And he's up there with runners at second and third, one man out. And a run is in. UTENA leads it 1-0. And a chopping ball back to the mound. Nice play by Matt. The throw to the plate, and he got him. Well, an outstanding job there. Not only Matt, the reaction on the quick ground ball, but an outstanding play by Sean behind the plate. The throw was a little wide, and he was able to corral it and apply the tag, and there's two down here in the inning. So now runners are at first and third, but there's two out. Now the starting pitcher at the plate, Zekas. He takes ball one. So runners are at first and third. Well, let's see if Vetra tries to get a steal here and move that runner from first to second. Instead, here's a chopping ball to the second baseman. He's got it. And a nice job taking it to the bag. Polahanka will retire the UTENA top of the first inning. They get a run, they leave two. On a 4 unassisted play, and getting a look at the starting pitcher for this Lithuanian team. And it will be the left-hander Zekas. He'll be facing Taylor, Polahanka, and Kleppen here in the home half of the first inning for John Lipinski's Minnesota Bruins. First pitch in there for a called strike. Bottom half of the first inning. Lithuania scoring on a ground out by their cleanup hitter, Trinkunis. And you talk about the city of UTENA, as this one is popped fouling out of play. About 35,000 people in population. It is in the country of Lithuania. We mentioned northeast of Poland. That's a swing and a miss. And they're going to have to throw to first for the put out, and there's one down. So with a strikeout of Taylor, that'll bring up Ryan Polahanka, today's starting second baseman, and he takes ball one. UTENA is about 470 miles west of Moscow. If I'm not mistaken, Lithuania was a part of Russia at one time. And the country of Lithuania is south of Latvia and also Estonia. And Lithuania also borders the Baltic Sea. All players in today's game on the UTENA team is from that city. Polahanka up there, trying to get something going. His team trails 1-0. We're in the home half of the first inning. Jeff Lowry with you, APM Video Sports. And here's a half swing pop-up, and the first baseman can't make the play on it. As he dropped the ball, the goes out in the fair territory, but it was a foul ball. So Polanco will have to walk another 90 feet, come back to the batter's box, and try it again. He kind of was fooled on that pitch. Kind of a half swing. Two strikes on the second baseman for the Minnesota Bruins. And Zekas delivers, strike three called. His second consecutive strikeout. There is two down here in the first inning. So the left-hander has been dealing here in the bottom of the first inning, and now lefty versus lefty, Steve Kleppen. One of the top run producers for the Bruins. And batting third with Joe Collier on deck, the first baseman. That's a strike. Home half of the first inning. Chop foul. A couple of strikes on the left-handed hitting Kleppen. As Zekas for UTENA. Has struck out the first two hitters that he has faced. And now trying to make it a trifecta of strikeouts here in the home half of the first. The wind that kicked the pitch, and he missed with a slider outside. Lithuania has actually had one of their citizens make it to the major leagues as Kleppen stays alive, and he got a piece of the catcher. Dovydas Neverauskas, who pitched 4 seasons with the Pittsburgh Pirates, made it to the show. And the two-strike pitch again is fouled straight back. So a good job by Steve Kleppen staying alive against this hard-throwing left-hander. And the pitch. And it's looped out of play. So you talk about the two-strike approach. You foul them off until you get one you like, and I think Zekas liked that one but did not get the call, and the count is full on Steve Kleppen. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the first. Payoff pitch. And this ball is hit out into left field and gets by the left fielder. Here's Kleppen to second, and he is on his horse heading for third. Here's the relay throw. He is in with a triple to left center field.
It's going to be late.
So that keeps the inning alive for cleanup hitter Joe Collier, the first baseman. Crouching open stance, and he took a healthy cut at a fastball in the outer half, and it's no balls and 1 strike. 2 out with a runner at third. We're in the home half of the first inning. And here's a chopping ball down to third, and that one is a fair ball. That's going to plate the run. This game is tied, and Collier is going to waltz in with a double, an RBI double, and we're tied at 1 apiece. Well, a good piece of hitting. He got a pitch that he could get the barrel of the bat on, and that's exactly what happened. And now the third baseman, Jack Watson. Watson takes a strike, and it's 0-1 with Eric Hendricks on deck. So, in a sense, we start all over. And here's a drive into left field, base hit, and it looks like Joe Collier will pull up at third base. So Watson with a base hit, 3 straight hits. After starting pitcher Zekas struck out the first 2 hitters, a triple by Kleppen, a double RBI Collier, single by Watson, and the inning is extended for Eric Hendricks. And there you look at them, first and third, 2 out from Tempe Diablo Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Good fastball for a strike. First time up for Hendricks. Bottom half of the first, go-ahead run at third. And a high curveball and a little high and out of the strike zone, according to our home plate umpire. A couple of balls, no strikes. On the sixth-place hitter, Eric Hendricks, batting from the left side. Good fastball, and this time it's called a strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Hendricks. Big dimensions here, a huge field, Tempe Diablo Stadium, which opened in 1969 for the Seattle Pilots. And that was 2 strikes right there. So strike 3 swinging. And Zika strikes out the side, but he gives up a run. And at the end of 1 inning of play, Lithuania won, and Minnesota likewise. You're watching the 36th annual MSBL World Series on APN. So UTENA coming up here in the top of the second inning, a 1-1 tie. RBI hit for Minnesota by Joe Collier. Tied the game up, a ground out by the UTENA cleanup hitter. And now Tadas will start things off here, the first baseman. I believe it is Siracojis is how they pronounced it, and he pops it up, and the catcher, Grenfell, making a fine play for out number 1. So Tadas is retired here to start the second inning on a fine play by the Minnesota catcher. Now the manager of UTENA, Gid. Janulavicius at the plate for the first time. A good right-handed hitter. He can go the opposite field. He can hit the ball really hard to the opposite field. And he is up there as both teams scoring a run in the first inning. And here in the top of the second, a 1-1 tie with this Lithuanian club in the dark tops and the white pants, looking for their first win. Well, the Bruins have outscored their opponents 33-17. They had a 21-run output in their last game. And here's a shot right at the shortstop. Nice play. Low throw. Collier digs it out of there. And an outstanding play for out number 2. So Kyle Taylor saves his team a UTENA base hit. That goes 6-3. There's 2 down, and here is Tomasinas. Nereus Tomasinas. And here's a line drive base hit center field. So Nereus is aboard and keeps the second inning alive. That is hit number 2 for UTENA. So the base hit extends this second inning, top half of the second inning, and now the 10th place hitter, Jakutis. And the first pitch is low for ball 1. Well, it's a beautiful night for baseball here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. And Evaldes takes low, and he's ahead in the count at 2 balls, no strikes. So he is batting in the number 10 spot. He is one of a couple of players in the starting lineup that is not in the starting defensive alignment for Lithuania. Vetra scored in the first, a single run, and Minnesota got 3 straight hits from Kleppen, Collier, and Watson. The middle one by Collier, an RBI double plating Steve Kleppen from third, who had a triple with 2 out. And that's where we stand right now. Top of the second inning in a 1-1 tie. And that's ball 4. So after 2 out, Vetra gets a base hit to center field and a walk. Next up is going to be the leadoff hitter who started the game by reaching on an error. And he hits one out of play and down 0-1. We're in the top half of the second inning. It's been a long inning and almost an inning and a half of baseball. Eating up a lot of time here as we have a 3-hour time limit in this 35 and over division of the 36th Annual Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. Ziggy Montes, the leadoff hitter for UTENA. And the pitch. And a swing and a miss. That was a third strike, and the runner is going to make it to first, and there'll be no throw. And for the second inning in a row, the bases are loaded for UTENA. Now Danius for the second time. I believe the last name is pronounced Neliupsis. So the bases are loaded here. 2 men out. A 1-1 tie, top of the second inning from Diablo Stadium. And we try to push in a little closer here, and the first pitch is swung on and popped up, and that's going to be straight back and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. So let's see if Jurgelinas can push across the go-ahead run. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. And a looper into, well, towards the shortstop, and tried to make the play as he stumbled. And all hands are going to be safe. That's going to be an RBI for Jurgelinas.
Number 42, Dantas.
And so the lead now belongs to Vetra at 2-1. And now the third place hitter who was hit by a pitch the first time up. Massey Ulavicius at the plate. How bad did I butcher his name? That one's out of play. And a good effort by Sean Grenfell, the catcher for the Minnesota Bruins, who now trail it 2-1. Runners are at first, second, and third. A run is in here in the top of the second inning. The first 2 batters were retired here in the top of the second. Here's a fly ball, left center field. That's going to get down, and that's going to plate at least 2 runs. They're waving the 3rd run home, and he is going to be in without a throw. So a 3-run double to the gap in right center field. It is a 4-run inning, and Vetra leads it by a score of 5-1. Now the cleanup hitter. Diavitos grounded out to shortstop, his only time up, and drove in a run as he bounces this one down to Jack Watson. And the throw scooped out beautifully by Collier, and that'll retire the side. But 4 runs come across. UTENA leads 5-1 as we head now to the home half of inning number 2. And you're watching the 36th Annual MSBL World Series, second inning for Zikas. And I believe his first name would be, if that's E-I-M-A-N-T-A-S. The E-I is an A sound, I believe. And so, Amantis Zikas. And again, I looked up all these names on the internet before I went on the air. And I got to tell you, this isn't easy. Here's a ball hit off the glove of the third baseman out into left field, and Nate Ackman has a base hit to start things off here. That is the 4th hit of the day for the Minnesota Bruins. And the batter is going to be Brandon Casa de Calvo, and he takes ball 1. Bottom half of the second, UTENA scored 4 times in the second inning. They have a total of 4 hits. The hits are even, but the scoreboard is 5-1 in favor of the Lithuanian team. Brandon Casa de Calvo at the plate. And a throw over to first. The runner really wasn't even off the bag. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Casa de Calvo in the pitch. And he pops it up. First base side. And the first baseman will make a nice 2-handed grab. And that'll be the first out. So a nice job by Tadas. In foul territory, 1 down. And now Grenfeld, the catcher, batting for the first time. Bottom of the second, 5-1, UTENA. Sean's done a nice job behind home plate. You got a runner at first and 1 out. And that one is going to catch the outside corner. 0-1 the count on the Bruins backstop. He swings and hits one to center, and it's going to fall in front of the Vetra center fielder. A base hit, the 2nd hit of the inning, and the 5th of the game for Minnesota. 1st and 2nd for John Lipinski. He takes just off the outside part of the plate, and it's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Brad Hughes is on deck. John going with an 11-man starting batting order, and he takes a breaking pitch in for a strike, 1-1. Runner at first, 1 out. As the Bruins have pounded out 5 hits, they got runners at first and second, 1 out here. And the quick look back by Zikas. And here's a ball that gets away from the catcher, and the throw to third. Looks like he's safe. He is. And both runners move up, second and third. There'll be a wild pitch on Zikas. And now second and third. And a ground ball up the middle on a drawn-in infield, and the only play will be first. The shortstop unable to come up with it cleanly, but gets the out at first. 2 down, but a run will score, and that will cut the lead from 5-1 to 5-2, and a runner at third base. And the batter is going to be Brett Hughes. Let's see if Zikas can do some damage control here in the bottom of the second inning and get out of this without giving up any more runs. Here's a chopper out in front of the plate. He picks it up. He fires too high, and that's going to cost him well, the runner stayed at third base. So at least for the time being, as Hughes reaches on the error, first and third occupied, and we go back to the top of the order, and shortstop Kyle Taylor. Taylor, a strikeout victim back in the first inning, and he swings and misses. So Kyle Taylor has a chance to get his team right back into this game, and that is strike 3 call. He got him looking, and the second time Kyle has went down on strikes. Minnesota at least gets 1, and they trail 5-2 as we head now to the top of the third inning. Five to 2 is the score. We head to the top half of the third inning. 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up for UTENA. Dalius reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning, as UTENA has scored in each of the first 2 innings, 1 in the first, 4 in the second, and lead 5-2 here in the top of the third. Third inning of work for Krzyzewski, right-handed starting pitcher for the Bruins. Still got a lot of baseball left in this one. A ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. And a ground ball down to first base. Softly hit. The first baseman takes it to the bag. And Joe Collier has a put out to his credit. And there's one down. Actually, that's Eric Hendricks who has taken over at first base. So that goes 3 unassisted.
Number 5, Montes Zikis.
Montes, the starting pitcher today for Vetra. And the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. 1 out, top of the third inning. UTENA with a 5-2 lead. Here's a bouncing ball to the shortstop. You can see how hard the ground is here at Tempe Diablo Stadium, and Kyle Taylor played it perfectly. 2 down, 6-3 if you're scoring at home. And that'll bring up Tadas. And he swings and hits a fly ball out into right center field. Caught. Nice running catch to retire the side. So a nice running play out there. He covered a lot of ground to come up with that ball. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, it's still UTENA 5 and Minnesota 2. Cole Lambert, outstanding play to retire UTENA. And the first time that they have been held scoreless in an inning. So we go to the home half of the third, and let's see if the Bruins can fight back in this. Here's Ryan Polahonka. Start the game at second base. He'll be 2, 3, and 4 with Kleppen and Collier to follow. Minnesota has scored in each of the first 2 innings. Bottom half of inning number 3 as Minnesota trails 5-2, but they got the heart of their order coming up here. And ball 4. A good way to start off an inning when you're trailing by 3. Zikis, for him, the first walk he has issued in 2+ innings. Strike called to Steve Kleppen, who had a triple his last time up. 1 for 1. Came around the score on a Joe Collier single in the first inning. That tied the game at 1. Then UTENA put a 4 spot up there as he lines one into the gap into left center field. This is going to be another extra base hit. Here comes the runner around third, and he is going to stop right there. Didn't get much help by his third base coach. And so a triple and a double for Steve Kleppen. And now the batter is going to be Joe Collier. That's swung on and fouled out of play. No balls and 1 strike. The RBI double, his first and only time up. He's got 2 on the pond, as they say. Ducks on the pond. Second and third. And stays alive as he fouls off the 2-strike pitch. Jack Watson is on deck. Here's a drive, left field. That ball's over the head of the left fielder, and 2 runs are going to come in. Collier with his second extra base hit, his second RBI at bat, and just like that, the score now is 5-4 in favor of UTENA, but the lead has been cut to 1. Now Jack Watson at the plate. Takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Watson had a base hit back in the first inning. So you got the tying run at second base, and here's a fly ball into right field, long run, and it's going to drop in there for a base hit. Here comes Collier, and this game is going to be tied on an RBI hit by Jack Watson. A 3-run home half of the third for Minnesota. Watson will take second. And here in the bottom half of the third inning, we are locked into a 5-5 tie. Next up, now first baseman Eric Hendricks. Strikeout victim his first time up, and he comes up empty-handed there. So Minnesota gets a walk, a double, another double, a 2-run double by Joe Collier, and then an RBI single by Jack Watson. A 3-run inning to tie the game up at 5 runs apiece. And still nobody out. And a big wave and a miss by Hendricks. And down he goes. That's another strikeout for Zickes. That is 5 punch-outs in 2 2/3, 2 1/3 innings for Zickes so far. And here's Nate Ackman, who has one of the 8 hits by Minnesota. And he hits a high chopper over the mound. That's a nice play. Coming home with it. And he slid right into the tag on a perfect throw by Zickes to home plate. Well, a nice tag there by Gid. And that'll be the second out here in the bottom half of the third inning. A fielder's choice that goes 1-2. And most importantly, they gun down the runner at the plate. So now Krashilski is going to bat for himself here. Brandon Casa de Calvo, I don't know if they're in an AB. The original starting lineup did not indicate any AB situation, but John Lipinski probably wants to see what he can do. Here's a ground ball, and he comes through with a clean base hit to left field, and that is hit number 9 for Minnesota. So they've got runners at first and second. First and second, 2 out, and the catcher, Sean Grenfell, had a base hit back in the second inning, and he's up there with runners at first and second here in the third. Well, the Bruins 4 out of 6 with runners in scoring position so far in this contest. And they're looking for more. Good fastball, but it was way inside. And a ball slapped the shortstop, and he can't find it. Well, a tough play there for UTENA, and all hands are going to be safe, and that'll be an error on the shortstop, and the bases are loaded for the second time in the inning. Now John Lipinski, who drove in a run with a ground out to shortstop in the second inning, he's got the bases loaded, 2 out, in a 5-5 tie, home half of the third inning. He takes a strike, a borderline pitch. Looked a tad outside from up here. Zickes delivers, and a swing and a miss. It gets away from the catcher. Here's John hustling down to first. The run will score, and the Bruins have their first lead of the contest. Well, the defense breakdowns have really hurt here. Brett Hughes, 6-5 Bruins here in the bottom half of inning number 3. The wind, the kick, the pitch. And that one is just off the outside part of the plate. So we've had a couple of big innings in this one. Both teams have had a 4-run inning. UTENA in the second and Minnesota here in the third. Here's a ground ball deep in the hole at shortstop. He's up, he throws, and what a play, and he got him. Zigimantis with a tremendous play at shortstop, and we are heading to the fourth. It's 6-5 Bruins. Well, I'll tell you, that was some play. Zigimantis getting the job done, and now we go to the top of the fourth inning. Starting pitcher still out there for Minnesota, Kruszylski. Jadrunas Janulevicius will be the first batter. Starting things off here, the manager of UTENA. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, all players with VETRA is from the city of UTENA, about 35,000 in Lithuania. And the town is roughly 470 miles west of Moscow. Just to give you some bearings, northeast border is along the Poland border. So we go to the top of the fourth inning. His nickname is GID, Gid. And he pops it up out of play. Here in the top of the fourth inning, 6-5 Minnesota. And Matt and Gid are really battling up there. Several foul balls and really starting to run up his pitch count, which is over 80 pitches so far through 3 innings. And a swing and a miss, and he won't even bother to try to go through Sean Grenfell, and there's one down. So that is strikeout number 2 for Matt. Thomasius will be the next batter. He takes a strike. He had a base hit and a run scored in the second inning. So this is the first time that we've seen UTENA trail in this game. Here's Taylor, low throw, and that's going to be an error on the Minnesota shortstop. So an unfortunate play. You get a look at the defensive alignment, led by 27 in right field, Brad Hughes. And the center fielder is Cole Lambert. Here's a high chopper, shortstop, fields, goes second one, and they'll get the fielder's choice. So Jakutis is retired.
Number 44, Jimenez Savarika.
Savareka is now the batter, the leadoff hitter in today's starting lineup, and a successful stolen base. Runner at second represents the tying run. And here's the pitch. And a wave and a miss. Well, so far he has reached on an error. He reached after striking out, and both times he has scored. And this ball is off the glove of the third baseman down the line. And that's going to bring in the tying run from second base, and that's going to go as a double. So a good piece of hitting there by the UTENA shortstop. And so his double has just tied this game up at 6 runs apiece. Now the second place hitter, batting for the third time, Jurgelinas. He has singled twice. He's driven in a run. He has scored a run. 6-6 tie, and he's trying to bunt his way aboard, and this one trickles foul, third base side. Picked up there by Jack Watson, the fine third baseman for the Minnesota Bruins. Runner at second. He's the go-ahead run, and here's a bouncing ball down to third. Watson can't make the play. That is the 4th error for the Bruins in this game. And runners are at first and second. Now Lucky, it said, the email said Lackey Lucky is Donata's name, and Massey Eula Vicious. Or did they? I don't know why he's coming back over to the dugout here. Well, apparently they want to send up a pinch hitter.
0-2.
Danius Neliopsis. Unusual to have a pinch hitter with this deep of a count. And here's a ball, unless he was hurt, to the shortstop. Nice play on the run as Kyle Taylor charges, and that'll retire the side. Fine defensive play, but they do get a run and tie things up. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning from Tempe Diablo Stadium in a 6-6 tie. This is APMvideo.com. Well, the Bruins coming off a 4-run inning in the home half of the third and facing the starter who has struck out 5 but has also given up 6 runs in Zekas. First up is center fielder Cole Lambert. Fleet-footed center fielder. And what a game we've had here. I mean, it's kind of back and forth. Lithuania got 4 runs in the top of the second to take a 5-1 lead. And then Minnesota got 1 in the bottom of the second, 4 more in the third to take a 6-5 lead, only to see UTENA come up with a single run in the fourth to tie it up at 6. A leadoff walk, and probably not the one guy in this lineup you really want to put on the base paths with his good speed. Actually, he was batting for Kyle Taylor. So Cole's at first. Definitely a threat to steal, and Polehanka takes ball 1. He has struck out. He has walked in his 2 plate appearances. Right-handed hitting second baseman with the go-ahead run at first. And that's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ryan Polehanka. And this ball is hit down the right field line, and that's going to be out of play. So 2 strikes on Polehanka. And this one hit down the first base line, almost a collision between batter and pitcher. And another 2-strike pitch coming up to Ryan. And here it is. And it maybe overthrew that one, and that's going to allow Cole to move up 90 feet to second base. He's in scoring position, representing the go-ahead run here for the Bruins. And a chopping ball to the right side, and this will be played by the first baseman. And Tadas will take it to the bag. That's out number 1, moving the runner to third. And now Steve Kleppen. 3 unassisted on that play. Kleppen, the left-handed power hitter, coming up. He has tripled, he has doubled, he has scored twice. First pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. I came up with a new statistic, and if it's out there, I didn't know about it. Quality at bats. And what Ryan Polehanka did, moving the runner from second to third, that will give, in this new statistic I came up with, that's a quality at bat. If you do it with less than 1 out, you get a QB, a QAB. So you got a runner at third and 1 out, and Kleppen is going to go down. And I'll tell you, that was a very good pitch sequence right there for Zekas. So there's 2 down, still a runner at third, and Joe Collier. You say, as this one is hit right back to the mound, and Zekas is going to get out of this jam. So you had a runner in scoring position. And the Bruins now 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position and come up empty-handed. We go to the top of the 5th inning from Tempe Diablo Stadium, and we're still tied at 6 runs apiece in the 36th annual MSBL World Series. All right, I'll bring up the cleanup hitter, start things off. Vitos Trinkunas fouls one off, leading things off, looking for his first hit. He does have an RBI to his credit. Matt, starting pitcher here for Minnesota, Krzyzewski in his 5th inning of work. Top of the 5th, 6-6 tie, and that got him, and that had to hurt. Right on the tricep. Trinkunas will take first base. Leadoff batter is aboard. Neliupsis looking for his first hit. 0 for 2. Runner at first, nobody out. Krzyzewski looks over, now fires over to first base. And the first pitch offered at? No. And they're going to say ball 1. And just off the outside corner, 2 balls and no strikes. And he got one over. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's a soft line drive over the leaping Taylor into left center field, a base hit. So Dalius with his first hit, he's 1 for 3. And now the starting pitcher, Zekas, comes to the plate, and he's 0 for 2. So you got runners at first and second. Bouncing ball shortstop. Taylor made double play right here. 6, 4, 3, and that'll retire the side. So an outstanding defensive play turned in there by the Minnesota Bruins. And we are 2 down here in the inning. Runner at third. And now the first baseman, Tadas, standing in. Sarakojas is 0 for 2. He flied out to center field back in the third, and a nice running catch by center fielder Cole Lambert. So 2 out, go-ahead run at third base here in the top of the 5th inning. Krzyzewski, and what John Lipinski and the rest of these Minnesota Bruins is hoping, he's settling down a little bit. He gave up runs in each of the first 2 innings, and then again a run in the 4th. And that is strike 3 called, and the batter can't believe it. Caught looking. That is 3 strikeouts for Matt, and we are heading to the home half of inning number 5 from Diablo Stadium in the 36th annual MSBL World Series. We're still tied at 6 runs apiece. Okay, Jack Watson will start things off. He started the game at third base. He'll be followed by Hendricks and Nate Ackman, barring any substitutions. 6th inning of work for Zekas. Excuse me. And this one is popped up. First baseman is under it and calling, and Tadas with the play, 1 down. So a good start for the UTENA defense. A pop-up to the first baseman off the bat of Jack Watson. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Hendricks. Trying to get the bat off his shoulders. He has struck out in each of his first 2 plate appearances. We're in the bottom of the 5th. I don't know if we're going to actually get a full 9 innings in this game unless the game really speeds up. But that first 3 innings was like an hour and a half. Usually you're either top of the 6th or bottom of the 5th at the halfway point, which, of course, we do have a 3-hour time limit here. Well, the PA announcer, who's a big baseball fan, gave me a trivia question. Oh, a delayed call and strike 3. Boy, I'll tell you, that's not good on the umpire. He was hearing all the heckles over there in the third base dugout, which is occupied by UTENA. And here's a ground ball off the bat of Ackman and a 1-2-3 inning. But that strike three call, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen an umpire wait 3 seconds to punch someone out. So we go to the top of the 6th inning back here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. And we're locked in a 6-6 tie. Jenna Levicius, the manager of UTENA, will be the first batter up here. He's looking for his first hit. And he lines one to the second baseman, and it's off his glove on the dive, and that is going to be a base hit. So a good way to start off the inning when you're in a 6-6 tie, and Gid's going to stay right there and run for himself. I'd like to thank him for letting us be a part of their 2023 World Series experience. Tomasinis will bat now with a runner at first base representing the go-ahead run. He squares the bunt and bunts it down the line. Watson has to play it and made a sensational throw to get the batter, and that'll go as a sacrifice, 5-3, moving Gid into scoring position at second base. Now Evaldis Jakutis. He has walked, fielder's choice, pop up, shallow center, who wants it? They let it drop in, a little miscommunication there. And that's a ball, I think the center fielder's got to maybe be a little more aggressive and call off that middle infielder. So it goes as a base hit. That's his first hit of the day. We go back to the top of the order. And with the runner going, they will concede. That's defensive indifference. No stolen base. Well, we'll see if Ziggy Manis can come through here. He doubled in a run his last time. He's got runners at second and third, only one man out. And here's a drive in the right field, base hit. That'll score the run. Vetra is going to get 2, and now the runner coming to third, and he's going to be in with a triple. That makes it 8-6. UTENA has a 2-run, well, I think it's going to be a 2-run single and an error on the right fielder, 1 RBI. Good base running as he gets all the way to third. And now the second hitter in the lineup, Jurgelinas. Singled in a run in the second and scored, reached on an error in the fourth. So 2 runs coming in, and it's now 8-6 UTENA. And here's a high fly ball to left field, a long run, and it's going to drop in out of play. And I believe, yep, that's John Lipinski now in left field. Still only 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. And that one's going to be out of play. That's a foul ball. Yeah, they've flipped that Philadelphia logo and made it into a B. That's pretty creative. Well, what a battle up here right now with Jurgelinas running up that pitch count. Now over 100 for Krashilski. Fly ball left. Here's John. He makes the catch. Here's the tag. Here comes a throw to the plate, and it's not in time. That's a sacrifice fly. RBI. It's a 3-run 6th. And UTENA has a 9-6 lead with 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Their second biggest lead of the game. They led 5-1 after an inning and a half. Now a ground ball to the right side. The second baseman will field and throw him out at first base. But 3 big runs come across. We go to the home half of inning number 6 back here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. And UTENA leads Minnesota 9-6. Zekas is back out there for another inning. Matt, fly ball right, and this one's going to drop in, and that'll be a base hit. So Matt has had 2 hits as he goes the opposite way. Neliupsis unable to come up with it. That's the 10th hit of the day for the Bruins. Here's a shot. Count it, number 11. And a line drive hit by Sean to left field, and runners will be at first and second. So 11 hits in total. That's his second hit of the day, and he's been on base all 3 times. Reached on an error his last time up. And now batting for Lipinski is going to be Matt Moharder. So Moharder batting for the first time. He represents the tying run. First and second with nobody out. And he grounds one to shortstop. They will go second one, try to turn the double play, and they throw the ball away. Let's see if the run will score on this one. It will, and it's 9-7. So it'll go as a fielder's choice and a throwing error on the second baseman, allowing the run to score. And now with the tying run coming to the plate, the Bruins are in business with a runner at first base and only 1 out, and Brett Hughes batting for the 3rd time. Looking for his first hit. This would be a good time to get it. I'll tell you what, folks, I don't know if we're even going to get to the 8th inning. That might be a stretch because we're starting to run out of time here. As this one is lifted in the air on the infield, and the first baseman, well, he couldn't make the play, but he will at second and get the force. So there's 2 down. A run is already scored here in this bottom half of the 6th inning. And now we go back to the top of the lineup and Cole Lambert. Lambert, the center fielder. Drew a walk his first time up. He chops one to shortstop, and the play will be at first, and he is just too fast. That is an infield hit. And now that brings the go-ahead run to the plate with the tying run in Cole Lambert at first base. Now Ryan, he takes low, ball 1. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Well, let's see if Zekas can get his UTENA team out of this hot water. Yeah. They lead at 9-7, and a comebacker to the mound. The pitcher, the underhanded flip to first, side retired. They get 1 as we head to the 7th inning of play, and Vetra leads the Bruins 9-7 on APN. 7th inning action. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, and the day is over for Krzyzewski. 6 innings and gave up 9 runs. Several of those runs are unearned. And Dave McDonald is going to be the new pitcher. That was a pretty good pitch as he paints the outside corner, and Trikunas is going to be retired.
Number 20, Lewis.
All right, Neliupsis. And he takes outside ball 1. 9-7, UTENA. With the lead, they got 3 runs in the top of the 6th. The Bruins countered with 1 run of their own in the bottom half of the 6th, but still trail Vetra by 2. Dave McDonald facing his second hitter in the lineup, with starting pitcher Zickes on deck. Here's a ground ball to shortstop. Nice play. Low throw, scooped out nicely by Steve Kleppen, who is now taken over at first base, and there's 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. Now the pitcher Zickes, and a comebacker to the mound. And this will be 5 in a row set down by Bruins pitching. That goes 1-3. And it's 7th inning stretch time from Tempe Diablo Stadium. Vetra leads the Bruins still by 2. Bottom half of inning number 7. And the heart of this Bruins lineup, 3, 4, and 5, including the man who has 2 extra base hits, a triple in the first, a double in the third. He has also struck out. Steve Kleppen now playing first base, and he goes opposite field again, and it's misplayed over the head, and this will be another extra base hit for Steve Kleppen, and it's going to be a 3-hit night as he goes in with his 2nd triple of the ball game. That'll bring Joe Collier to the plate, and he'll be representing the tying run. Collier has 2 RBI doubles, the latter in the 3rd inning. A 4-run third for the Bruins, and it drove in 2 runs. He's 2 for 3 with a run and 3 RBIs. He's produced 4 runs in this game. You know, I was talking about the quality at bat statistic, and I think it's a good stat, and you might want to let me know if you think it's silly. As Collier draws a walk after going down 0-1, and now Jack Watson, the third baseman, is 2 for 3 with an RBI. At minimum, if you move a runner from second to third with less than 1 out, that's a quality at bat. And then everything, walk, single, double, triple, homer, counts that too. Bouncing ball to the right side. Second one, they will not have a play at first, and the run will score. And now it is 9-8. The Bruins trail by 1. So a triple, a walk, a fielder's choice, and now Eric Hendricks grounds one to the second baseman. They're going to go to short for 1, and they get the lead runner. Fine defensive play at second base. So Nereus maybe took a little gamble trying to get that lead runner, but it paid off. And when you're protecting a 1-run lead, you don't want anybody getting into scoring position. And there's a look at the 2023 Minnesota Bruins. So Nate Ackman up there, he has scored twice and is 1 for 3 at the plate. He had a single back in the 2nd inning. And Krushelski is the scheduled hitter on deck for the Bruins. Runner at first, the tying run. I'm going to keep that runner close to the bag at first base, Eric Hendricks. And here's a shot to center field, and it's over the head of the center fielder, and this game may very well be tied. The runner's coming around third. There'll be no throw, and here in the bottom of the 7th inning, we are tied at 9 runs apiece. RBI double by Ackman. Hendricks scores on that last play. Here's a fly ball to left, and it's going to be caught by Dallas in deep left field, and the side is retired. But 2 runs come across. We are going to make it to the 8th inning, and we're tied at 9 runs apiece. You're watching the 36th annual MSBL World Series on APN Sports. All right, this may be the last at bat for both of these teams, unless we're still tied. 2nd inning of work for Dave McDonald, who had a 1-2-3 7th inning. He's in relief of Krushelski, the starting pitcher, who went the front 6. So Sarah Kogis, the first batter. hoping to get on board and break through against McDonald, who has faced 3 and set them all down. And that's a pitch that nibbles the inside corner and a called third strike, and there's 1 down. Second punch out for Dave McDonald. Now Gid, half swing, roller to the shortstop. He's up, he fires, and there's 2 down. So he is out 6-3. He had a base hit his last time up, 2 down. And the batter is going to be Tomasinas. Well, the one thing that McDonald has done since he's come in here, he's set down 5 in a row. He's throwing strikes and getting the job done. 2 out, nobody on. And a swing and a miss. He gets his 3rd strikeout of the day, and that'll retire the side. 8 in a row set down by Bruins pitching. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. This will be the last half inning unless we're still tied, as the Bruins lead, or rather are tied with Vetra at 9 runs apiece. So a chance maybe to win it here. First up, Sean Grenfell, the catcher. And he was all over that one. Well, Zekas, the starting pitcher for UTENA, and he is still out there and throwing, even though his pitch count's probably somewhere around 140, maybe even 150 pitches. So it'll be 9, 10, and 11 for the Bruins. Here's a ball hit out into left field. It's going to drop in for a hit. And Grenfell is 3rd hit of the day, and he represents the winning run for the Bruins. Brett Hughes bringing the umpire, who that last foul tip got his finger. So he's going to tape it up, and now the batter is going to be Bunning. And the high throw, and what a job by the first baseman. He stayed on the bag. Well, it'll be a sacrifice for Moharder moving Grenfell, but what a tremendous play. Tadas has done a great job at first base here today. Okay, first time up for Chandler McLean. And he squares the bunt, and the runner really getting off the bag, and now will make it to 3rd easily. Runner at 3rd with 1 man out, and here's McLean, and a line drive to left field. It's going to be caught. Here's the catch, the tag, and the throw to the plate, and it's not going to be in time. No throw, and the Bruins have just taken a 10-9 lead. So I guess we will see another half inning. I think every time that we're told what the first pitch, it's always different than the umpire. So there must be at least a couple of more minutes. We'll see how it plays out. Here's a ball hit off the 3rd baseman, trickles out into left field. And so Nick Hoffman is aboard, and now we go again back to the top of the order. So the Bruins lead 10-9. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning, coming up on the 3-hour threshold. The Bruins now with 16 hits. 16 hits in the game. Throw over to first. The runner is back in. And here's a shot into right field and a clean single. And Cole is now 2 for 2 with a walk and 3 at-bats since coming into the ball game. or at least batting for Kyle Taylor back in the 4th inning. So runners are at first and second, 2 out. Polahanka looking for his first hit. Zekas is still out there on the mound, the starting pitcher here today for Vetra. Here's a comebacker to the mound, and the side is retired. But they get the go-ahead run pushed across. We go to the top of the 9th inning. This is it, top of the 9th. And Vetra needs a run to equalize. They trail 10-9. All right, this is Dave McDonald's game to win, and if he shuts him down, he deserves it. He has thrown 2 innings of perfect baseball, bouncing ball up the middle. It's off the glove, and that'll be an infield hit. So the tying run is aboard, and a good job by Jakutis to get on as the leadoff hitter in the top of the 9th inning. Now we turn the order back to the leadoff hitter, who has batted 5 times, 2 hits, and a couple of RBIs. Here's the throw down to second, and he's caught stealing. What a great throw by Matt Moharder, who has checked in at catcher for the Bruins, and that is a huge first out for the Bruins defense. And I think he's going to make him come back because he kind of extended the elbow. But what a play there to get that lead runner. Now a ground ball to short. Taylor's up with it, and he throws to first, and there's 2 down. 1 out away from a victory for Minnesota. Good play by Kyle Taylor. Jurgelinas batting for the 5th time. He's driven in 2. He's got 2 hits. And he is the last hope for Vetra, which means storm in Lithuanian. The pitch. That's off the plate. So David McDonald in there, inning number 3. He's in line for the win, but he walks the second place hitter, and that is the tying run.
50, Kyle Young.
Well, here's Kyle Young batting. This is the first time for him. The runner is going, and the throw down, did they get him? He was off the bag, and they out call by the umpire, and it's all over. The Bruins hold on to win 10-9. They go to 3 wins and no losses as they win their first 3 of this MSBL World Series. Dave McDonald, the winning pitcher, and a tough loss here for Vetra. So once again, our final score from Diablo Stadium, it's the Bruins 10, Vetra 9.